Hi, Julie.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So excited.
I'm excited to be here.
Mm-hmm. So for people wondering, we are drinking rum.
We are. It's very delicious.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? That's not why we're here. I kind of want to talk to you about your whole experience in the industry. As I'm shaking the ice around. Is that too loud?
I'm good.
Yeah, that's good. All right. So, you cool if I just jump in?
Yeah, go
Questions?
ahead.
Okay, cool. So, did you wanted to be an actor first? Before anything?
Well, when I was 5 or 6, my dad was always really into making movies with us, me and my neighborhood friends and my siblings. So there was a video camera that I would always use and play around with. So I was always into playing pretend and stuff and making my own movies. But
oh, cool. So would your dad direct all the kids in your neighborhood and make little mini movies?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. How many of those did you guys make?
Quite a few growing up, actually.
I really hope you have that footage to give us. Did you have a role or any one of those movies stand out as this really fun, or just this is the one that made me realize I wanted to do this?
Well, when I was 11 or 12, he started wanting to do filmmaking professionally, and so he wrote this script called Star Kids, and it was a short film basically, and he cast me and my siblings as the 4 leads. So that was my first professional on-set working experience, and it helped me realize I really like acting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how professional was it? Was he...
It was pretty professional.
Yeah.
There was a crew, and we shot on location around the Pacific Northwest, so mainly in Seattle.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, and so were you homeschooled? No, you went to school.
No, I went to school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you ever do any kind of drama classes or any kind of in high school, or
Yeah.
was it just kind of outside of school?
Well, after that experience doing the short film, I decided I wanted to do acting. So when I got to high school, I did as many plays as I could to try and get experience and things like that.
Those were so terrifying. The auditions, or having to audition in drama class in front of all the other.
They were so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I never got the roles I wanted. But
oh yeah, you never do.
Yeah.
It's always that one, the jock who happens to try out for the musical that ends up getting the lead role.
Exactly.
Every year.
Every time.
Yeah. We're not resentful. No. Okay, so wasn't till after high school that you started kind of branching out and doing other people's productions, or what was the first other not family set you did?
After high school, I auditioned for a college production of Hairspray, and then I started submitting myself and auditioning for short films and anything I could find around Seattle. So right after high school.
Okay, nice. And those were all in backstage, I'm guessing.
In Seattle, there's more stuff on Craigslist and this website called Theater Puget Sound. So
Craigslist sounds so sketchy.
It's way more sketchy in LA than it is in Seattle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Theater Puget Sound?
Yeah.
You said it was on? And they're a legit
Seattle
project?
casting site, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And so was your first agent in that area, or was it when you came down to LA?
It was in LA.
Okay, and you came down with your family?
I did, yeah.
Yay.
3.5 years ago.
I feel like it's been longer. That's about the time I moved to LA, and I thought you just
I feel like it's been shorter, and time passes really quickly, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, because I think, the whole group of people we know all happened to move to LA at the same time.
Yeah, we did.
So in my head, you guys have all been here forever, but then whenever I bring it up, we've all only been here 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Sort of. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's funny, because it feels like a long time, but then when you look at everything you've done, I mean, how do you feel like you've used your time here? I know it's such a big question, but 3 years can be either long or short.
I think personally I've used it pretty well, and I've used it as best as I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I've always tried to stay focused and take different opportunities as much as I can.
Yeah, always say yes to things.
Yeah.
How hard was it to get an agent for you?
You
You actually got my first manager. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved her.
I didn't love her as much, but I didn't know her.
Yeah. I got my first manager, she reached out to me backstage. I guess she found my profile, and then she sent me out to meet with different agents, and then one of them wanted to sign me.
Oh, great.
Commercially. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there a huge difference between having an agent and not having an agent?
Yeah, because I would submit myself for commercials on like LA Casting, but I would never get called in. And then when I had a commercial agent, I started getting called in to commercials for the first time.
Yeah.
So that was the main difference.
I know. Like the first time you go to one of those big auditions, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Like, the difference between commercial auditions and like student films or independent films, it's kind of a different ballgame.
Yeah.
At least it feels like it.
Do you
How so?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's just a different atmosphere when you're in an audition with higher stakes, I guess, like a big commercial or like a studio film or a network TV show. It just feels different than being in like an indie film audition where the stakes aren't as high.
Yeah.
It's a different group of people sometimes too.
And you feel like they're looking at you as like something to use for their business as opposed to like something to use for their like kind of passion project maybe?
Yeah, it's I don't know, it just feels like different competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that way too? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is it could all be mental, you know, because I've done so many like student film auditions and so many like indie film auditions where I just walk in and I'm like, oh, it's just another one of these. And while I still want the role and I'm still excited to do it, it doesn't feel as scary just because I haven't done as many of the other type yet.
And there are a lot of really high quality indie films out there too. They're not all the same. So
I mean, so that goes to my next question. So you were doing the acting only, but then you kind of switched into producing your own stuff.
Yeah, I've always liked producing stuff. But it was never really at a professional level. But I've always liked screenwriting and like making movies and producing. So I just I had a script that I wrote in Seattle before moving here, and
Which one was that?
Landline.
Do I know that? I don't think I know of that one.
I don't know. It's I made it in 2015.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. It's on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
But like you should check it out. Like the house I was staying in at the time in 2015, I thought it was a really cool location, and I thought I should film something here, and so I just took that script and I made it there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Just using your environment.
Yeah.
You know, and everything you can to make it happen.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you started producing your own stuff. Was there any specific reason why you decided it was time to start doing it? Were you just like, this has always been something I was going to do?
I've always been passionate about filmmaking too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The opportunity just hadn't come.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you started making things with your dad, or are you doing it separately? Was it just the Star Kids project?
I'm also currently co-producing a web series with my dad and co-writing it. It's the short film I told you about Star Kids, so we're turning it into a web series. So I'm like turning his script into a 12-episode series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What how's the whole process of getting a web series?
Well, we're done with the casting. 4 episodes are written already. We have like a business plan and everything all set. It's just the funding part that is really hard.
Yeah.
But so that's the part we're working on right now.
How are you guys tackling that? 'Cause that's something I'm going to bring it up every single interview. How do I get money? Tell me how you do it.
I've asked so many people that who've gotten money for things.
Yeah.
And sometimes they give helpful advice, and sometimes they're like, sorry, I don't really know, it just happened.
Are you going to give me a sorry? I don't know.
Well, I haven't done it yet, but our plan is to do crowdfunding, and then we're going to use this site called slated.com where you can reach out to people who invest in films.
Specifically films?
Yeah, specifically investors.
Cool.
It's called Slated, and it seems really cool, so we're going to be using that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like, are there any like creative benefits to producing versus acting? Like with what does acting give you? Feed you creatively that producing might not feed you creative. And vice versa. Like what do you get from producing versus from acting?
Yeah. Well, I really love acting, and I always have. For me, like I grew up with pretty extreme social anxiety, and acting was the first place where I felt like I could really express myself. So it's always been like a place where I can express myself, and I've always loved playing pretend and playing characters, and I just really love acting. But producing is like just a different creative outlet, I guess, where you get to be in charge and you get to plan stuff.
Feel the power.
And yeah, they're different, but I really like both.
Yeah. Let me see. So how do you feel like being a woman trying to make it happen for yourself here?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I haven't had any specific
like issues with it
yet specifically, but I know it's definitely a factor in everything.
Yeah. And do you feel like, how about being a Black woman? Do you think there's any kind of difference there in being able to create things for yourself, or can you speak on that?
Yeah. Well, one thing about being a Black actor or an actor of color is, like, when I first moved here, I decided that I wasn't going to do any projects or any roles that were, like, stereotypical or, like, portrayed Black people in a negative light.
Yeah.
Unless it was specifically, like, in a good way in the story, like, for a good reason. So there are a lot of stereotypes in Hollywood and in the media, and I just didn't really want to be a part of that. So that's something that I have to look out for.
So it's something that you think you can actively avoid if you're, like, always kind of conscious?
Yeah, for sure. Because if I see a role and it's like, we're looking for an African-American female to play a drug dealer, and it's only one scene, and, like, it's just, why does that character have to be Black? Why not have it open ethnicity and see a bunch of actors?
Anyone could be a drug dealer.
One. So yeah, if it's like, it's a weird like that, I like to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I've seen breakdowns for, like, specifically, I mean, woman stuff, where it's like, female, the sexy, you know,
oh my God,
whatever,
yes.
this.
We could talk
it's
forever
like,
about that too.
Do I need to be sexy to be in this role? It's like, she has to be really sexy, 5'6", long brown hair.
I know.
She just says one line in the library. It's like, who cares that, you know?
And then the roles where it's like, female, pretty but not too pretty.
Yeah,
or like
kind of average.
Like,
she's loved him for 5
but
years,
not
but
model.
he doesn't reciprocate, and they sit on the bus next to each other. It's like, what?
And it's, or the character where it's like wife or girlfriend and they're not really part of the story. So
Yeah.
I see stuff like that.
Yeah, like, why do roles like that need to be so specific in their descriptions?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
How could the people that write those descriptions, like, what could they do to?
Just like when you're writing this script, like, if there's gonna be a girlfriend or a wife or a female character, give them actual depth and story, and don't just put them in to be like a pawn or just a pretty female in the background. So
It starts with the script.
it starts with the
It starts
script.
in the
And it starts with the people behind.
at the table.
Yeah, the image they're trying to get off.
I don't even apply for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But you know what's so stupid? It's like, some of those roles we could probably get, but they intimidate me, you know? And it's so stupid. And this could be like, yeah, it could be like, maybe like insecurity. It's like, you know, I know we're cute and whatever, but not that it matters. We have depth because we're people. But I see it, and it's like, she has to be a 10. She has to be really sexy. I'm like, I mean, I'm cute, but do I really want to, like, try to go out for this role where they're specifically asking for it? Even though I definitely could have a chance.
I know what
you know, it's like, and it makes me start to limit myself and overthink things that don't matter.
I have the same thought process for it. Yeah. It's
hard, Nate.
What are these people doing?
I know. They're keeping us out.
Have you encountered any stereotypes? I know you say you don't go out for those roles, but like, have you felt any effects of, you know, negatively or maybe positively by being a woman of color in this industry? Has it gotten, has it opened doors for you in any way? Or
I feel like nowadays it might.
Yeah. Like, ever since I first moved here, I've gotten a fair amount of opportunities and auditions for things I submit myself for, so it doesn't feel like it's holding me back in any way. I don't know if it's, like, harder for some people of other ethnicities, or well, I know it is. It depends, but there's a lot more roles for like people of all different races now than there were even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And like diversity is becoming more of a thing than it was even 5 years ago.
Especially commercially. I
Yeah.
feel like most commercials are, like, I feel like I don't go out for as many commercial things because they're only looking for, like, ambiguous or, you know, like, anything else. Yeah.
That's interesting that you say that. I would say, like, know what you will and won't do before moving here. Like, if you're comfortable, like, if there's anything you're not comfortable with doing, know that for yourself before coming here. Like, are you comfortable with doing nudity, or is that something you never want to do? Like, you have to make the decision before coming here, so you don't have to decide on the spot, because people will ask you to do different things that you might not be comfortable with.
Yeah. Just kind of know your boundaries.
Yeah, know your boundaries.
Yeah, and realize that you're going to get rejected a lot, and just start to brace yourself now, because it's like almost everything. It's but like it doesn't mean anything when people say no to you. It just means that's not the opportunity for you.
Yeah, rejection is this job. It's like 90% of the job. Rejection.
And it's just like
you just have to get used to it.
You just gotta. Ooh, and I honestly think the people who get ahead are the people who do things. So you can be someone who plans and plans, and you know you have the perfect idea, but if you don't actually do anything, no one cares. Like you have to be kind of a go-getter, and you have to create opportunities for yourself.
You have to work harder for yourself than anyone else is. Basically.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Well, I've heard people say, like, you know, ideas aren't worth anything out here. An idea ain't nothing.
Yeah, because I mean, you could have an idea. That doesn't mean, well, it could be the best idea in the world. That doesn't mean people are gonna think you're worthy of investing in. You know.
And if you hear no a million times, keep going if you really want to do this. Yeah.
Did you read the Jenna Fisher book on acting?
Oh my God, yes.
It's really good.
Jenna Fisher's book, The Actor's Life. I thought it was the best book I've read on moving here.
It's really like personable and relatable.
Yeah,
and
I loved it.
Yeah, it tells how she took so long to just kind of...
To even become a paid actor.
Yeah.
Let alone a known face. Yeah. I think everyone who wants to act should read that.
Guys and girls, or do you think it's more of a girl book?
I think guys and girls.
Yeah?
I think.
You can learn something from anyone.
Yeah.
Just keep your minds open, people. Okay. What would be your dream project?
Since before moving here, my dream project would be, my goal is to have a recurring role on a TV show.
Oh, nice.
Like a network drama, ideally, but I would love to be a guest star in Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, cool.
That would make me the happiest person in the world.
You know, I've never even seen Grey's Anatomy.
Really?
Never. Well, okay, I think someone showed me like the pilot, and it was cool. I mean, I was like, oh, okay,
I love it.
You know, yeah, it hasn't been. It's been going on for a while, right?
It's season 15 now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it? It's not the original cast, I'm guessing.
Some of the original cast.
That's a really long time to be on a show.
It's a very long time, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think spending too much time on one project would limit you? Like, do you think
I
you'd
don't
still
know if I'd be able to do a show for that long.
Yeah.
But they're doing it, so that's cool.
I mean,
I mean, as long as I could do other projects on the side, I guess. But having work for that long would be awesome. So, yeah.
So have you ever had to have like a side gig to make money while not making money from projects? You know, like how do you support yourself, your life in LA?
Yeah, I think everyone, like when they first move here and even years after you live here, you have to have a way of supporting yourself besides just acting, because it's really hard to make like enough just from acting until you really make it, you know. So I definitely have other ways of making money.
So what do you do?
I think the key is to find something flexible so that you can always make auditions and always take projects. Because my goal was I never want to have to say no to a project or an audition. So I do background work on film sets, and it also helps me see like other actors who are working already, and I learn from that experience. And then I also do audience work, which a lot of people don't know about. That it exists, but it does exist. You just get paid to smile and clap, basically.
Yeah,
and you get to make your own schedule.
Yeah,
so.
It's pretty boring. I went
Depends on the
show. Depends on the show.
Some are boring.
I was a stand-in on this one reality show, and like it was different than the audience work because we had to like be the stand-in for the actors, whatever.
I've never done stand-in work.
It was cool.
Like
I got to have someone jump over me. That was pretty fun.
That sounds very cool.
Yeah, it was. But then they brought in the audience, and I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool, you know, like the audience. And then the audience didn't care at all about the show. Like the second they like nothing was happening, they'd all pull out their books and they just sit there until they were saying rolling. And I was like, are all audiences paid?
They were definitely paid. Yeah, I bring a book when I can. A lot of times they don't even let you know. So.
Really? Because it just shows the
people
obvious
don't
like
put
boredom.
Them away, and the producers get mad, and
yeah,
it's like a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So let me see. You've never had to do any of the like the restaurant gigs or anything like that?
Not yet, but I'm looking at trying to find more flexible works starting in the new year.
Nice.
Something where it's only at night so that I can do like acting stuff during the day, or possibly something in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. So right now, do you only have a commercial agent? Or do you have I don't think you have a manager, right? From what I remember.
I have a commercial and theatrical agent.
Okay.
But it's the same agent.
Oh, cool. Excuse me.
And I'm gonna look for a manager when I get new headshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel having the agent right now? Do you feel like you're going out on as much as you can? How's your communication with your agent?
I really like my current agent. Actually, I went into audition for them, and it turned out that she'd been following me on Instagram because her daughter auditioned for my web series.
Oh, wow.
And so, she told her partners at the agency, yeah, this is Shani, and so they wanted to sign me, and so we already have a connection, and
That's awesome.
I feel really good about our relationship. And I definitely need like different marketing material to be sent out more, but we've talked about what I need to get more opportunities. So I feel really good about it.
Tell us everything right now. Tell us the marketing material that you need.
Well, just basic acting marketing material is a really good headshot. I've had mediocre headshots since I lived here, and it's time for me to get really good headshots. Like if I want to go out for shows like Grey's Anatomy and such, and then actually get cast, I need better headshots.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
That's really quick. What's really annoying is I like to kind of change my hair because I just want to.
Nice.
So I
Me
used
too.
So I used to have this like long black hair, and then I cut it all off and did a pixie cut, which was red.
I love your long black hair, but I like this hair too.
Yeah, I mean, and then now I'm growing it again. But as soon as I cut it off, I got these like $800 headshots, and they were great.
Do you really mean 800?
Something like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I spared no
God.
expense, and they were really good. And then now I'm growing my hair out, and I'm like, God damn it, I can't get another set of $800 headshots. I need something though, because it's like it's starting to get to the point where it's definitely not a pixie cut, and if I show up,
and you're gonna keep growing it out.
I want to, but here's the thing: if I get good pictures now, that means if I decide to cut it again, I already have pictures from before. So, but it's hard wanting to change your look all the time. I know you've had lots of different hair colors in your past.
Yeah, I used to have pink hair. I had pink hair for the first 3 years of living here, and that got me into the audition room a lot, and so I was scared to go back to this color, but I'm really happy that I went back to this color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the thing is though, I mean, I remember when I first started, I used to be really afraid of doing particular things to my look because like, would that be marketable? Oh my God. But then, I mean, it could be 3 years of just kind of realizing doing all those things that are marketable aren't getting you roles. Just be yourself and just sell that, you know? So if I'm going to be the person who wants to change my hair, I just have to do it, you know?
Is there a certain style that gets you called in for auditions more?
Yeah, it's funny. When I wear glasses, I book things more.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. That could just be commercials, but it's not. Maybe it's the accessory. Yeah.
That makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. They want a certain look or something.
Yeah, like I'm slightly more hipster.
Yeah.
But then that could be because it was a mix of that and the short hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you marketing materials. You had your headshot.
You need. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is super helpful is having a website, because when you're reaching out to casting directors or agents for representation, or just like filmmakers who you want to work with, you could send them your website, and then you get to choose what's on it. You can have all of your stuff right there, like your reel, your bio, your photos, and it's just a really good thing to have.
Make yourself look like a rock star. And they can't say anything because it's your website.
Yeah,
it's about you.
You can design it however you want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mine is a work in progress. I did it. I put a lot of work into it like about a year ago, and then I kind of just drifted off a little, and I haven't updated anything on it. So I should probably do that.
You should.
Yeah. That's what I'll do tonight. Everyone, take a break and update your websites right now. All right. So, besides websites, okay. How was it for you getting a reel together?
It wasn't too hard. I do YouTube on the side, mainly as a hobby, so I already knew how to do editing.
Yeah.
So when I did my first few projects in Seattle, and then out here, my first few projects, I just edited a reel together.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's probably really easy. So, what do you do on YouTube? You vlog, I believe? Or is that different than different?
I have a channel where I talk a lot about mental health, specifically social anxiety, depression, and a few other really personal topics. But for some reason, I don't mind that strangers on the internet watch it. A lot of people I know don't watch it, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But I also do vlogs, like day in the life type of stuff.
You know, it's funny. It is easier to expose yourself to strangers, like emotionally and everything, because you're like, oh, I don't know you. You can judge me, and it doesn't matter. But it's the people kind of like close to you, and the people in your acquaintance group. Just I have to look at your face as you judge me. It's harder.
Yeah. But it's also people who are like experiencing similar things and like going through similar things, so it doesn't feel like they're necessarily judging me or anything.
Okay, so these things you kind of talk about in your YouTube state, how has that affected your progression as an actor, having these kind of mental illness? Not saying you're mentally ill, but you know what I mean. These problems.
It hasn't affected it because I keep the two separate. So all of my social media accounts, I focus on acting and my life on there. I never really promote my YouTube channel on there, so they're pretty separate. Yeah.
But I mean, just for you, having these things that are like having a huge anxiety and trying to put yourself out there as an actor, or depression.
Well, acting has always been like my way of escaping my anxiety in a way, but having social anxiety, when I first got here, it always made the like audition experience kind of nerve-wracking, and then like meetings with agents, I would get so terrified beforehand, but over time auditioning isn't as scary, but it's still the meeting part, like meetings with people. It still terrifies me.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, it still terrifies you, but you're able to do things for yourself to be able to get in the room. What are some techniques you use to help calm yourself down in an audition?
Well, I've just always had a motto: if I'm scared, I have to do it anyway, if it's really important to me. So even when I'm scared and shaking, I still make myself do it. Yeah. But deep breathing is something I try. Yeah. It doesn't always work, though.
Yeah. It was, you have to go breath in, breath out. When I went on, my mom took us on a family cruise, I think a year ago, 2 years ago, but we went to Jamaica. And cool. It's really nice.
I've never been.
It's beautiful.
I want to
go. But she got this excursion for us there where we had to go like cliff jumping, and I'm not about jumping. I don't like heights. I don't like falling.
Me neither.
Just in general, there's a couple things that I stand for. But I mean, here I was with my entire family, and they're all jumping. We're talking kids. We're talking my old uncle, not that old.
All okay with it, and
they were doing it, and they were just having fun and laughing. And here I am, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to back out unless someone else does first, and then I'll just like back them up. And we won't do it. No one did it anyway. So what I'm saying is, there's a point where like you are right at the edge of the cliff, and you are the most terrified you have ever been, And you just have to realize, well, I'm already here and I can't walk away now, so I'm just going to stop being afraid and jump and worry about it later.
That's such a good metaphor for doing anything that terrifies you. That's exactly what it feels like.
And ever since then, I've been ever since then when I go to some auditions, I'm just I feel the same feeling as if I'm walking to the edge of a cliff, and I'm I don't know if I'm gonna fall on rocks or if they're gonna hate me and anything, but I'm already here at the door. You might as well just take that deep breath and walk through the doorway, and just hope that your muscle memory takes over and that you practiced enough.
Do you get really nervous before auditions, or has practice made it easier, or?
Depends on the audition.
Same.
Yeah, I'm definitely comfortable with improv auditions now, and I'm pretty comfortable with commercial ones, just because I've taken classes and I've just gone a bunch of commercial auditions. There are other ones where I feel like I have more at stake, a little bit more emotion I have to pull into the thing.
It's the ones where I have to pull emotion that make me the most.
Yeah.
I have to do this well.
Yeah. You just gotta turn your fear into fuel.
Exactly.
You're not in the union, are you?
Not yet, but I've been trying to get in for as long as I've been in LA, and I'm very close. I can feel it.
Okay. What are your plans on joining the union? Or how do you intend to have it happen? Obviously.
Either I'll book a project that gets me in a commercial or a network thing, or I'm making a web series and it's going to be SAG New Media, and with the New Media contract you can have hardly actors in who aren't SAG.
So you must already have a SAG actor on your project?
Yeah, we have most of the actors on my project are SAG.
Actually, what I heard is that doesn't work anymore. The Taft-Hartley, or they're making it harder.
Are they changing it?
Yeah, I think they are. Within the last year or two. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, anyone. But I read it on Reddit. That you.
What's happening?
Well, you can't. Well, you can make your project SAG, but that doesn't mean you can give yourself waivers or anything.
So they might be taking away the ability to Taft-Hartley people.
Taft-Hartley yourself, I think is the thing. Make your own new media. And that kind of worried me.
Why they're thinking of doing that?
Probably because a bunch of people are joining the union, and then
so
now
easily?
there's too many. Yeah, but so many people are in the union now, and there's no projects because commercials are all non-union. Most commercials are non-union.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, there's the big ones.
There's this cool.
There's this whole thing going on. Wasn't there a strike in Hollywood a couple of months ago outside of this company who was? They were shooting non-union commercials, and so actors were outside
I see a lot of SAG commercials, but I think I know what you mean, because I remember some agent somewhere getting annoyed, why are there so many non-union commercials?
Yeah, but I mean, because I'm producing my own projects now, we decided that we're going to make all of them SAG also, because one, we want to not be limited in our actors, because a lot of our friends are SAG, and we don't want to have to put them in the position of turning down a really cool project, because we only make cool projects.
But are you, obviously.
Yeah.
But are you SAG eligible?
No.
So where does that leave you getting involved?
Well, I'm non-union, so yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, because I'm non-union, and I'm gonna make all of my productions SAG,
but you're
for the actors.
Be in most of them, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in all of them.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to make stuff for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just gonna sit around and make stuff for other people.
That's smart. Make work for yourself.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we're still looking into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So either you're going to find a way to be in it non-union, or you'll find a way to make yourself SAG.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Well, I'll still be in it because I'm making it. I don't know the rules. But we're trying to figure out how to get the SAG actors in it.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, maybe it would still work. But then the question is, if I get myself into the union from that, does that mean I'm actually ready? Is there a point to be at union level? Going against these people who've been here for 10 years? I don't
think you're ever ready.
That's true.
But I know what you mean. You have to. But
if I'm just making my own projects and calling myself SAG, but then I go to these big auditions, like we were just saying, and I'm nervous where these people aren't, am I shooting myself in the foot?
But do you not think that you have the skill level yet? Because that's all you need. You need the skill level and you need the confidence.
That's true. And
you need to want the project. So, I mean, what else do you need?
That's a good point. It's all willpower.
So it is worth it
to make yourself, to make your own projects, or
to join SAG.
To join the union.
Well, all the shows are SAG. All the big movies are SAG.
That's true.
When does one know that they are ready to do that?
To join SAG.
I think it's probably when. Oh, you know what I read?
Why is it oversaturated? Is it oversaturated with poor talent or?
I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't know it was.
So much good talent
I didn't know it was
Yeah.
oversaturated. I didn't know that was a problem.
Well, that's the reason so many SAG people are doing non-union things. I mean, I was reading in one of those forums just that people's opportunities are way less now that they're in SAG, because SAG is only going to take the top.
I see.
You know, because there's just less going on.
So I think maybe it's less about being ready, but being ready to let go of all the non-union opportunities and feeling like you're going to have enough SAG opportunities.
Yeah. What I remember hearing is the time to join SAG is when you're like over half of your auditions are SAG.
Oh, okay.
You know, so
that
if you're
sense.
only going on non-union stuff still, you might not be ready.
You might
to
want to
join.
wait. Or wait until you have a good resume or a good reel, and then you're like, okay, I have something to show for myself.
Yeah.
And then you're ready to get more work.
I need to work on my reel.
Really?
I mean, I have stuff, but it was from a while ago, like kind of crappy student film footage.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
For me, my reel, like pretty much everything in my reel, I have pink hair because that was my life for the past 3 years. But I just finished doing actually my first lead role in a web series.
Nice.
So when I get that footage, I'm gonna have that, and then I'm shooting a project next month, so I'll have that.
Oh, great. What's your project next month?
It's a sci-fi film called Odyssey Omega, and when I first read the script, it made me cry, and I wanted to be in it so bad, and then I ended up booking it. So it made
That's
me really
amazing.
happy. It's just a supporting role though.
That's
but
fine.
I'm still really excited.
How did you hear about it?
I submitted myself on Actors Access or LA Casting.
So, I mean, I was going to say, how do you think you got the role? Probably just because you were the best one for it. But, I mean, was it just like a normal audition process? Or did you feel, when you were in the audition room, did you kind of feel like you already had it? Or how did that work? Was there anything?
I never let myself feel like that because then I get my hopes up. But I felt pretty good about the audition. I felt like I connected with the director and the producer a little bit, and I was hopeful about it. So when I got it, I'm always still really surprised and excited though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going somewhere else to film it? Or?
No, it shoots in LA.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, Shani. So, were there any projects upcoming for you that you want to plug for us?
Yeah, 2 projects. V-Card, the web series I just finished acting in, is going to be on YouTube in 2019. And the web series I'm co-producing and acting in is, we're going to start shooting probably in 2019, but you can follow the social media pages at Star Kids Series on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then what are your social media handles for people who want to check out what you're doing with your life?
I'm always on Instagram, and my handle is Shani Drake Love. And my official website, shanidrake.com, for all of my upcoming projects and stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I had such a good time.
Me too. Now chug. No, just kidding. Don't chug.
Okay.
That's how we finish our show.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's walk into the light. Into the light, yeah. Julie.
Don't look away from my eyes when I cheers you.
Okay.
You looked away again. I'm not, for everyone's viewing
not.
preference, I'm not going to make you do it again. Just don't look away from my eyes when I cheers you.
I'm not good
How am
at
I supposed to build romance
eye
and
contact.
tension? Okay.